Okay, so obviously carving pumpkins is faster with a chainsaw. I could carve this in 10 minutes and be done with it, but I know lots of you people don't have chainsaws, and you can use a die grinder or your Fordham, or even make this pretend this is a smaller scale one, and you're using a Dremel, right? So when I first start my pumpkins, I always kind of just place the piece of wood, see where it sits the best. So that's where I want to put the face, right there, okay? And I also look for cracks to see if I can see any checks in this part of the wood, to see if the wood's cracked, starting to crack, because that check will come all the way down here. But this piece doesn't have any checks yet, so who knows where the pumpkin's going to crack? Because it's going to crack. This pumpkin is going to crack unless you have a bone-dried, kiln-dried piece of wood. It's going to crack. It's a solid round. So I think that's a good spot for the face. Well, I can see a crack right here already. So, because sometimes they're not cut square, right? So if you want to cut it square, go ahead, take the time to cut it square. Let's see here. Let's do that. That's a good spot for the face. So what I automatically do is I get a pen, and I do this, and that for the face. Put a nose there so you know that's your face, okay? So here's the die grinder that I'm using. These are 1/4-inch burs, okay? It's a Kutzall Extreme Flame Bar. You guys can get these burrs if you go to the description below. It will take you to my Kutzall site. You can use the code CFusion, save yourself 5%. So, your pumpkins have to have stalks, like the top piece, right? So to use this die grinder to grind all down here to try and get a stalk to come out, it's just kind of a waste of time, okay? So I'm not going to do that. All I'm going to do is when this thing's done carving, I'm going to carve a hole up here, and then I'm going to friggin' get a branch, and I'm going to paint the branch green, glue it in, done. There's your stalk. It saves you from having to carve all this wood away down here, So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to flip the pumpkin upside down. Okay, I'm going to flip it upside down. I'm going to lock it up in my jaw horse. Okay, now I'm going to go around. So everybody, I'll slow down here. All you need for this project is this die grinder. You can get a cheap Harbor Freight one, and a grinder with this is a cheap $30 grinder from Walmart with the sanding flapper thing on there. See, it's got a backing pad. That orange is the backing pad. This is 36 grit. That's all you need, and you need some orange paint and some black paint if you want to paint it, but you don't even need the paint because you can burn it too. So what I'm going to do now is start rounding the top off, okay? Like this. So it's not such a square edge. I'm going to round it off. I could just use my friggin' grinder, grinder with the sanding disc to do that too. Might be a bit faster than this. Anyways, let's get started here and show you how we do it. Anybody can do this. They're huge sellers at Halloween time. Huge sellers. Okay? Yeah, it's kind of round. Not too much, just a little bit. Who cares if your pumpkin looks square? It's a friggin' chainsaw carving pumpkin. It's a carved pumpkin. I don't spend too much time on these things because, well, these are made to carve to sell, right? So. Okay, so there's my bottom done, right? Round enough. Okay? Now I'm going to do the same thing, but round the top off. Okay, so you can see here, it's kind of round. It's round here, it's round here. Don't worry about it. We'll make it more round when we do our cut. So we got our face. We'll leave this unmarked because, you know, the pumpkins have the dents in them. So all we'll do is we'll carve like this. We'll put our stalk. Continue the lines up here. Do as many as you want to do. Okay? So we'll cut in there and then we'll round it. And we need to make it so it's like it's been carved, so this whole thing can come out. It's not going to be a hollow pumpkin. Okay? So now we got these lines here. Make them straight. Now what I do is I lock it up in the jaw horse again. So I can hit this line from this side. Then I can hit this line from this side. And I'm going to keep on using my grinder. Well, maybe I'll use a dry grinder for a bit to get some deep channels in there. But yeah, I'll try and show you guys. See how the die grinder here. I don't know about you, but it's like a pumpkin to me, isn't it? So I'm just going to quickly finish these lines because I couldn't finish these lines that were in the jaw horse. So I'll finish this down, and then we'll start using the sander again and just quickly clean everything up. You don't have to have a face on your pumpkin too, right? Super simple. Okay, so I don't know what you guys think, but it looks like a pumpkin to me. Pumpkins come in all shapes and sizes. You find me a perfect friggin' pumpkin and I'll give you $5. So there you go. So we got our hole cut in here to make the stem, right? That saves so much time having to carve this wood down to make a stem, because when you're carving here, if you're carving against the grain, right? So that's the hardest, carving against the grain. So I got this stick. I don't know, I think it's Douglas fir. This is cedar, but I've already cut this piece off. Yes, I used my chainsaw to cut this. So now what I'm going to do is put this piece in the jaw horse, shave this end down so we can get this stalk in here. I'll probably make it a bit shorter, but you guys can use your formula. This, for me, it's trial and error. I shave it down, try it, shave it down, try it, shave it down, try it. I really don't give a shit, so do it the way. You can use a spade or whatever you want to use, one of those things. Hey, buddy, can you tell me why I'm your best friend? Can you tell me why I'm your best friend? Shake a paw. Shake a paw. Good boys, good boys. There you go. There you go. That's why I'm your best friend. Ta-da! Okay, so there's a pumpkin. You know, there's so much other stuff that you can do. You can paint it. You can carve the face on it. You can do whatever. I thought I'd leave this one natural because these are big sellers too. And you guys, when your pumpkins do crack after you got them carved, if you're carving fairly fresh wood, they're going to crack down here. Okay? They normally don't crack right down here. So anyways, that's it. So you guys, you can carve a pumpkin with a Dremel and a die grinder. Simple as that. You can do it.